am very honored to be here talking about my mom and an organization that she started many, many years ago. She said that they needed money, and she said that they had to have money for the phone to pay their bill.
We realized we really didn't have a phone yet. We didn't have anything. We just had a lot of enthusiasm. We had a lot of information.
And so they made cupcakes, cookies, whatever it was that these women got together, and they didn't seem like bakers. And we would go to either grocery stores or some type of store outlet, and we would say it was for the first bilingual rape hotline.
Because we were a bilingual crisis center, there were a lot of Spanish speakers, y por eso teníamos que hablar de las dos idiomas. Habían unas gentes que no podían, so we would have somebody as a backup.
So we started presenting the issue of the trauma or the seriousness or the effect of that rape does exist in the Latino community and what it's doing to families and children. Then as we got identified as that's how we started getting funded.
We went to all of the junior highs and high schools, and we talked to all of the girls' PE classes, which at that time was unheard of. And inevitably we'd say, if you want to talk about yourself or somebody else, just come up at the end of the series, the session. We inevitably had many, many young women come up and talk to us, and so we'd take names and phone numbers, and we didn't have cell phones at that time, so it was like sometimes they'd contact us, sometimes they wouldn't, sometimes they'd give us their right phone number, sometimes they wouldn't, but it was just amazing how many times you would hit somebody, you would get to somebody, and you'd see that epiphany of, oh, I can talk about it.
A lot of our work was not just helping the woman empower herself to survive, but to support the family. You know, the spouses, the fathers, all this had a difficult time at that era. It's still difficult for many to this day in this work.
She felt that that she started something small and it got big, and that the women that continued after her were way harder working than she was. She always said, man, these women are so hardworking. They're so dedicated. And she admired them and thought they worked harder, and that sometimes the attention on her made her feel like awkward because the women that took over did a way better job.
I don't think any of us expected that it would go on the way it has. You know, it's like a ripple effect out. I mean, I'm elated that there's so much that continues. I think part of me feels there's such a need, and whenever you run a 501c3, there's no money. So there's always the added stress of raising money in order to keep going. And I think that's the issue at hand. How does an organization that's been around for 40 years, how do we enable them to be around or empower them to be around for another 40?